we're live. Today I have the honor of interviewing Mike Mountain. With 7 albums under his belt, he recently released his 3rd installment in the Piragua series entitled Triple Piragua. We're going to bring him in and talk to him about his new album, what he's currently working on, and future plans. Let's bring him in.
Peace, what's good, what's good?
Peace, my brother, peace. What an honor to have you on the show. My man, well, we run in the same circles. We're both from the DMV. I'm out in LA.
Oh, yeah?
I'm super honored to have you on here. I've seen a lot of your past work, stuff you've done with cats like Fantasma, and then legends like Thirstin Howl the Third and Psycho Les. I want to jump right into it and talk about the 3rd installment of the Piragua series, Triple Piragua. Talk to us about the new album.
All right. The 3rd installment is it's like the completion to the trilogy of Piraguas. I basically came up with the concept as it started around cover art. When I came up with the Piragua album, I got a picture of a Piragua cart, and I was like, I just started formulating the idea, and let me turn this phone off, man. My bad. And I basically just was like, yeah, I want to give people flavor. You know what I'm saying? It reminded me of when I was a kid, when I got piraguas, you know what I'm saying, at the Spanish festivals, and I was like, yeah, let me, this is part of my heritage, so let me go ahead and make a concept around this. I was like, nobody came up with an album called Piragua, so let me make an album called Piraguas, and let me make a Latin album. And I was getting into Latin trap and reggaeton at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I just met this beautiful female down in Puerto Rico who had inspired me to get more into the younger crowd and stuff like that in the music. And I just started making more stuff, and I also added the Latin hip hop, the boom bap with it, and it was just like a trifecta everything, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me give out, different flavors, which is Latin trap, reggaeton, and boom bap, you know what I'm saying? And let me call it, Piraguas. And first it was Piraguas, the album, then I came out with Mas Piragua, then I came out with Triple Piragua, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to give people more and more and more every time, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what it is.
And too. And for people to understand the album concept, you're going deep into these old salsa records, right? These old, Latin music runs so deep. And it was such a joy to listen to the discography, because I'm sitting there listening to, oh, yeah, I recognize that one sample. Oh, man, I'm surprised nobody flipped this joint until Mike Mountain did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So many classics on there. Talk to us about what that was like to kind of like take some of these records that you probably listened to in your home growing up.
Yeah, a lot from the 70s when I was born in 78, and to date myself deliberately, proud of it. Growing up in the 70s and the early 80s, as a small child, listening to salsa was my shit, man. That was my favorite music. It got me going, you know what I'm saying? It made me proud to be Latin and Puerto Rican, and I love the music. So, when I heard the samples, thanks to the producers that put the music together, like Mr. Scratch Hook, aka E-Rex, and Domingo, Hanzo Bladez, Joey Dynamite, other producers, they basically filled in the blanks by providing, that flavor, you know what I'm saying, that sabor, you know what I'm saying, and it just, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely with this. I know I heard this before, so I can rock with this, you know what I'm saying? So it was a no-brainer, you know what I mean?
That's dope, man. And then additionally, right, on Triple Piragua and in the past also, there's some Mike Mountain production credits. Can you talk to us about your production?
Yeah, I produced a few tracks. I produced Baile Conmigo, which is a reggaeton track. I produced Mucho Swing featuring Psycho Les from the Beatnuts. You know, I sampled some music that I used to listen to when I was 15 that my mom put me on to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to snitch on myself and just say who I sampled, but
You know,
if you
there's
heard it,
rules to this.
you know it though. You know who it is. You know who it is if you heard it. You know what I'm saying? You know who it is, and you know what I'm saying? You know, I did my thing. You know what I'm saying? I did my thing, but I didn't have to do too much because so many producers had so much flavor for me that I didn't really have to do too much. But you know, I had to get in there and do my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you get your hands on a sample and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna flip it.
Yeah, I got to do something with it, man. I got to be the one to say I did it, you know? Yeah.
But you know what's so interesting is that the joint that you did with Psycho Les, you produced it. And Psycho Les is you know, the Beatnuts are also known as some of the greatest producers, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It was
they're just, you know, how was it like? That's like producing a track for like Dr. Dre or Premier or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell us how that song and that relationship and everything came about.
Okay, shout out to Muñeca emcee out there in Puerto Rico. She's just in the chat right now. She was on the album twice. Shout out to her. Thank you for her efforts.
Yeah, and that joint Calle Soul is a banger.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Domingo produced that joint. What happened was, you know, Domingo had put me on to Psycho Les. He gave him the good word for me, and I contacted Psycho Les, and I told him, you know, what happened was it took me like 3 years to put the album together because I had to get the funding and everything.
Yeah.
And when I finally got the funding, I came back to Psycho Les like a year and a half later, and I said, yo, I'm ready to do that feature. Can we still do it? And he was like, sure, let's do it. And I was like, yo, he's really cool for that. You know what I'm saying? For not holding it against me that I took so long to, you know, to come back with the money.
Yeah.
And that was a relief right there. So after that, everything was cool. And then I sent him the beat. And then the first thing he asked me was, he said, who made the beat? And I was excited. I was like, I did. He was like, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, shit. He wants to know who made the beat. I was like, that's like, that I just started reading into it, but you know, for him to ask who made the beat, just for him to just ask, you know, something like somebody like him that makes, I was like, I must be making some noise, man. I'm glad he likes, you know, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I hope he likes, I hope that means something good. You know what I mean? So yeah, and he did his thing, and when he blessed the beat, I was surprised to hear his verse, and when he shouted out my name in the verse and everything, I was just like, yo, that's love. So yeah, I was pretty hyped, man, because, you know, I've been listening since I was like 14 years old, since the Reign of the Tech, you know what I'm saying? Since they did Intoxicated Demons, and my favorite album is Street Level. I've been rocking that joint in my headphones since I was like 14, 15 years old, and all the way like all my life, like to this day I still rock Street Level.
Yeah.
I listen to all that music, so it's like a big inspiration to like run with the big boys or make a song, you know what I'm saying, even though we weren't in the same studio, to just, you know, make a song with someone who I looked up to all my life, man. Big up to Domingo for making that happen.
Yeah.
He's a good dude,
Big
man.
Up to Domingo, such a dope producer, such a standout guy, you know what I'm saying? He is. He's just such a solid individual in hip hop, period. You know, and in the business of hip hop, you know, Domingo's got his whole everything. You know, he's got his platforms, distribution platforms. Yeah, man, Psycho Les, I love the Beatnuts, man. Like Juju, Psycho Les, and yeah, I've gone way back also to Reign of the Tech and Intoxicated Demons, and when they first came out. Psycho Dorf and all that. I mean, those are legends. To work with the legends is amazing. You work with another legend, and you've worked with them before, and that's Thirstin Howl the Third. Talk to us about that collaboration.
That's my brother, man. That's my big brother. That's my uncle, my brother, my cousin. Like, he knows my mom. He, you know, I started off like I've known him for like a good at least 13 years now. I started off. I met him on Facebook, and I asked him like, how much for a collabo. I didn't have enough at the time, but I came back to him, and I said, I don't have money for a collabo, but I would like to work with you. Maybe I could barter some services or something, and him, from the streets and from incarceration, like he understood the value of bartering. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, okay, maybe we could do something. If you do enough work for me, maybe, I might look out for you for a verse or something. He was like, we'll see. And I was like, all right, cool. So I gave him my all, and he eventually did a verse for me for Mi Vida es Guerra, excuse me. And we just started doing more and more songs together. And until I could start affording to pay him for his verses. And he still look out for me, but I gotta pay him. But I it's an honor to just be able to work with him, man. Just I believe in reciprocal relationships. You know what I'm saying? Where you gotta look out for each other. You know what I'm saying? You gotta feed each other. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't have it any other way. You know what I'm saying? Like, God cursed me for getting something for free. You know what I'm saying? Nothing in this universe is for free. You know what I mean? So I love working with him and doing that. And he's been a counselor to me. He's been a big brother to me. He's been there for me in some of my worst situations. That guy really cares, man. He's a really good guy, and we got that Capricorn Cancer combination going on. So like we really work well together in the studio.
That's interesting. Hey, I want to make sure that we're able to pull some clips off of this later on and pull some content of it. Right now, the way that the camera is, it's cutting you off from about right here. Yeah. So I want to make sure that I'm able to like get you and like really maximize.
Is this better?
Pull some good stuff.
This is the best I can do right now.
Oh, that's perfect, man. That's perfect. Okay, cool. You were mentioning the Capricorn Cancer combination. What is that? Like, are you a Capricorn to see Cap? Well, how does that?
Well, I'm a Cancer, and I'm a Cancer and a Capricorn rising, and he's a Capricorn. So we're polar opposites on the zodiac, but we do good together as far as business partnerships and we got a good chemistry, as far as what they say in the zodiac, and we pretty much we click together, man. We click. It's like we it's like a lot of things that a lot of things go unsaid, like don't have to be said. Like we just sense each other. You know what I'm saying? When we speak, like some things we don't have to say. We just automatically pick up and get it. You know what I mean? And that makes things a lot easier. Cause let me tell you, man, I never thought that I would be able to get close with somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? He sometimes he's kind of hard to approach. You know what I mean? Like you would think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, move back a little bit.
Right there is perfect. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's good because I want to make sure that we can pull some good clips and highlight the good work you're putting in, my bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. That's really cool, and there's something to that. You know what I'm saying? To whatever extent cats follow that or not, there are certain combinations that work really well. Thirstin Howl III, such a legend, such a big brother to so many people. There's another big bro that wound up on this album, Shabaam Sahdeeq. Talk to us about the collaboration with the big brother Shabaam Sahdeeq.
Shabaam Sahdeeq, I've been working with him for a long time. Man, he looks out for me, man. He's another Capricorn. That's my man, that's my bro, that's my brother. This time, I had a deadline to get things done. He doesn't rush when he does verses. He takes his time deliberately to get things right and make it special when he writes rhymes. And you know, I was kind of a little impatient this time to get things done, but he came through in the nick of time and got his verse done, and it was just perfect. It was just so perfect. So, you know, everything came together. You know, I stressed so much to make this album happen, but you know, everything came together when it was supposed to. So I believe that everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. Now, when we look back at your discography, right, you had the Warpath 1, 2, and 3, right? And now we got the Piragua installments, right? Piragua, Mas Piragua, Triple Piragua, which is dope because it's like a triple scoop, right? It's like a triple scoop, right?
Yeah.
Is this the final installment of the Piragua series, or could there potentially be could it continue?
Actually, this is the final installment, but I'm not going to get complacent here. I talked to my bro A. Rashid, who's my music consultant. I'm actually pay him for consulting, and he's the guy from who does the intro skits on the West Side Gun albums and stuff like that. He knows the industry very well and can tell the nuances between, you know, with music, and he knows the subtle changes and the trends, and he can predict things. And he told me to not be complacent with what I've got so far, and to keep building on to that. I don't know if the next album is going to be called anything close to Triple Piraguas, but I do actually have a title for the next Spanish album. But the next album that I do won't be called Triple Piraguas. It's going to be called Mountain Dreams by me and Seen the Dream. A producer named Seen the Dream. Yeah, he's from the DMV area as well. And me and him been brothers for a long time, and he started playing my music on the radio, showed me love, so we just took it from there. And he's got some tight beats, and he's also going to be rhyming on the album, so it's going to be called Mountain Dreams. And A. Rashid is going to be on the album as well, as far as doing an intro and an outro and a couple of skits. And yeah. I'm thinking about calling the next Latin album Tostones. I already got the logo design.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. I'm thinking about making an EP called Tostones. So, you know, I already got the beats. Shout out to Goliath Kong. That's my prodigy, my protege, in Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden. He's like 14, but he's like a genius, man. He's a musical genius. And he hooked me up with some beats. I also got another beat from DNA Beats, and another one from my man in Spain, Sax One. And it's about 8 beats, and I think I'm gonna knock it out and release it, you know what I'm saying, sometime soon.
That's
to
dope.
Give the people more.
That's
dope. Try to make it, you know, as dope as possible.
No, that's incredible. Now, the name Tostones for the upcoming project. Talk to us about how, you know, what does that mean? There's a food thing going too with Piragua and Tostones.
Yeah. I mean, you know, because I'm trying to get flavor, you know what I'm saying? And I'm using, you know, names of food that are like common household names, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to call it Plátano Maduro, but that was like kind of like a long name. You know what I'm saying? I like Plátano Maduro more than I like Tostones. Plátano, for those of y'all that don't know, Plátano Maduro is soft fried plantains. They're soft, they're sweet. You wait till they get brown and then you fry them up. Tostones is like plantains that you mash up with like the bottom of a coffee mug, and you make chips out of them, and you fry them up. You deep fry them, and you make hard chips out of them. They're real crunchy, but you gotta eat them fast, because they get stale quick. So, you know, I wanted to make a album called Tostones because you know, I just wanted to give some people some more treats. You know what I'm saying? Something, you know, they can grab a bag of Tostones and, you know, keep them moving.
You just
know what I'm saying?
Third, because you can have Tostones, Maduros, and you just need a third. You got your next. You know what I'm saying? You got your next trilogy.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, something, man. I just want to give the people a little bit something, because it seems to people seem to like it. I'm getting a lot of good reception online, and you know, a lot of people are liking Triple Piraguas worldwide, and most of my fans seem to be across seas, and people are really liking it. I mean, even in Saudi Arabia and Dubai, people are liking it. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that there's a really strong market, and it's probably a maybe an underserved market, because you've got rappers that are Latino, but they rap in English, but they got a certain flavor because they bring in their culture and their heritage,
Right.
and they mix in Spanglish, or they're just rapping in English. Then you've got reggaeton, and you've got this whole urban Latino thing. Then you got all of the Latin American countries that got their own hip hop scenes.
Yeah.
But you're doing something different. And what you're doing is you're digging deep into the salsa and other forms of Latin American music, and pulling samples the same way hip hop cats have done with Parliament and James Brown and all of the jazz greats, and all of those samples that people have gone and pulled out, the Bill Withers, and sampled all that music. You're digging through the salsa crates and pulling out all these classics, and now you're doing hip hop over it from the United States. And that's a very different thing from cats like Orishas that are taking salsa sounds, but they're from Cuba, you know what I'm saying? They got like a different vibe.
Yeah,
you're doing something that's kind of more like an East Coast, you're chopping up beats the way that people have chopped up funk beats for a long time. It's a different sound what you got going on.
Yeah,
and I think that it's got a big market because salsa is universal.
Yeah, it is. It is. Salsa's got that sound, man. They love it all over the world. I didn't even realize that's what I was doing, bro. You just pointed that out. I'm just doing what I love, man. I'm just making the music that I would like to hear. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm doing. I'm just making the music that I would like to hear. That's it. I grew up on the Beatnuts and Cypress Hill, Fat Joe. I'm Curious. Other rappers like that. You know what I'm saying? And I love Latin hip hop, because it showed me that there was a place for me to express myself, and I could be me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to be the stereotypical what have you, and it was perfect. So I'm just doing that as an adult now. I'm just making that music and following suit and following tradition, and I'm just doing it with my twist on it, my flavor, and I'm just, like I said, I'm just making music that I would like to hear. You know what I'm saying? And I listen to my own music. I know some people say that's kind of weird that you would listen to your own music, but I make music that I would like to enjoy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
That's good, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff that, people put out, it's a lot, it's real negative. You know what I'm saying? It's real negative, and it puts you in a negative mind state, and it makes you feel like you have to be a stereotype or POS to if you excuse my French, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? You could still keep it street and keep it positive, or it doesn't have to be positive as in, yeah, well, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to, hug a tree, or I'm going to walk the old lady across the street, or this kind of thing. You don't have to, go all out to be, the model citizen, but it doesn't have to be in the negative vibratory, setting where, you're talking about doing depravity and crimes of depravity and things of that nature that you wouldn't want your children doing. You know what I'm saying? So I try to make music that makes me feel good and makes other people feel good. You know what I mean?
That's dope, man. That's dope. Now, for this album, you've actually already released some video work. Is there more video work coming? I know you've got joints like Calle Soul that we were talking about earlier, right? Talk to us about any ideas for future video work.
I don't have any videos for Calle Soul. I got a video for Que Bonita Bandera, and I got 2 animated videos, one for Pastelones and one for Triple Piragua, the title track. I don't plan on doing any more videos anytime soon for Triple Piragua, but what I do plan on doing is circling back and doing more videos for all of the Triple Piragua albums. As money accumulates and I have the opportunity and time, I plan on circling back and doing songs for all of them, just to give all 3 albums more shelf life.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know anything in particular, so I can't tell you anything, you know, any songs, you know what I'm saying, that are designated, but there will be more videos in the future, in the next few years. I will definitely be doing that, as well as doing other albums as well. But you know, I plan to make a lot more money, and I plan to make a lot more music and a lot more music videos. So I'm trust assured people that it's not over. It's not over. You know, just because a project came out doesn't mean that the shelf life is over, or that I'm done. You know, demonstrating what that album has in store for people. So there are more videos coming.
Yeah, I think that that's one of the things that's really cool about when cats release albums that are connected. Piragua, Mas Piragua, Triple Piragua. And if you're feeling Triple Piragua, or if you were feeling one of the other albums, you want to hear all of them. You want to hear where this artist was at that moment in time. You've connected these 3 projects, so it's dope to go back and actually like do more work and like present them as you know, these go together. This is a set of work of, you know, from my catalog. You know,
yeah,
I think that's really dope. I wanted to ask you, like, I think that, you know, people could kind of piece it together, but it's probably a good thing to just ask. Tell us a little bit about your background. You know, like where your parents are from, and your heritage, and how that's influenced your music.
Okay, well, start off with my mom. My mom's African American. Both my parents are African American with mixed heritage. My mom has Native American and some English, and my dad has some Irish, Puerto Rican, French, and Native American. My great grandfather is an immigrant from France. I have family in Puerto Rico, on my grandmother's side, and ever since I was like, I believe I turned 3 years old on my 3rd birthday, I found out that I was Puerto Rican, and I've been repping it ever since. So that's the identity that I most closely identify with as a Puerto Rican, because it's a combination of everything that I am, which is European, Black, and Native American. So
that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. And that kind of gives people an understanding of your sound, how it's got like that deep salsa sound, and how you identify with that. You know, we talked
and it
about
still got that soul, you know, that soul. I still got that soul, you know, that black, you know, that black flavor that come with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my family's from Ponce. My family's from Ponce in Puerto Rico. That's right, Muñeca. Peace to DJ Chili too. I'm sorry, I'm shouting to people in the chat.
Absolutely, man. We gotta give them love. I wanted to also mention, you know, we talked about some of the big names that are on this new project, Triple Piragua. Cats like Psycho Les from the Beatnuts. You know, you got Thirstin Howl the Third, Shabaam Sahdeeq. We talked about the production from Domingo, right? You got Muñeca on there, right? I want to make sure that we shout her out.
Oh, yeah.
There's a producer named Hanzo Bladez that is so super dope. Talk to us about how you connected with Hanzo.
Man, oh man, I met Hanzo on Facebook like a few years ago, and we just clicked. And he said he had a beat for me, and when what happened was, I told him that I wanted to work with him, and he was like, yeah, I want to work with you too. And he just kept like making beats for everybody else and doing things. And he said, yo, I got you. And I think it took like about maybe 5 months. And then he finally had this beat for me, and it was the best beat ever that he ever made, ever. And that was the Black Spanish joint. And when I put that song down, man, that joint was history, man. That joint was history. So he sent me another beat, and he called it Sazonado, which means seasoned. And I ended up turning that into Psicología. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that was a beat that I made talking about mental health. You know what I'm saying? I had my history with mental health since I was 14. Being diagnosed as bipolar and manic depression and having post-traumatic stress disorder from dealing with the streets and stuff in my adolescence. And so I basically I wanted to make make a comic relief about it, make it playful, make it comical, you know what I'm saying? To like say, look, it's okay if you have mental health problems because it's so prevalent today. So many people have it, you know what I mean? And it's like, hey, it is what it is. Like, take your pills, do what you got to do, get up out of the hospital and get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, laugh it off, and that's life. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those songs that you kind of laugh and cry about. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That's what I thought. And it's funny because the song, the beat was called Sazonado, which means season, and the song Psicología, which means psychology, is about being seasoned. It's about going through shit. You know what I mean? So there you go. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's dope, man. The other thing that's really dope about Triple Piragua is that you did it, you don't see this as much nowadays. It's got to be from people that are a student of the culture. You've got an intro, you've got an outro, you really took time and, having DJs, kind of like present it and hype it up. Like you've got all of this stuff that's the way albums were done kind of before this streaming era where like people are like releasing lots of singles, then they just put together a bunch of singles or release a project, move on to the next thing. You actually put together a conceptual album. Can you talk to us about, your decision to creatively approach the album in this way?
Man, I wanted to make this the best album I ever did. That's all I wanted to do. I got the voice tag from Karina and Style. Shout out to her. She did that for me. She's the one who says triple Piragua. I wanted to do that because I got that from Griselda. How they always use that the Griselda. So I wanted to do that. Big up to them for that idea. The intro, I pretty much just put that together after Domingo gave me that beat for La Rumba, and it was such a short beat that I was like, all right, I'm gonna just throw one verse on here, and that just came out to be the intro. And then my man Scratch Hook, aka E-Rex, he ended up doing a remix to it, so I was like, let me make that the outro. So it came together organically. A lot of it wasn't planned. It just came out the way that it came out, you know what I mean? But I definitely wanted to make it a quality album, like the kind that I listened to, like when I heard Redman's Muddy Waters or Helter Skelter's Nocturnal or Reasonable Doubt or Moment of Truth or Hard to Earn by Gangstar. You know what I'm saying? I definitely wanted to make it like a album that you would listen to. And if you notice, it's like an hour long, so it's a lot longer than a lot of these albums are now. Like a lot of these albums are like 6 or 7 tracks, but I wanted to make it long because I wanted to make it different. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make it different than what's being offered right now. I wanted to give somebody a full course meal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you did like a classic album. The new song format's like 2 minutes. A lot of cats are doing 2-minute songs. You do 6 tracks, 2-minute songs. That's 12 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You dropped an hour album. You dropped like the way the albums were back in the day.
I tried my best. I appreciate that. Thank you,
bro. I wanted to talk about some of the video work. We were talking about Hanzo Bladez, and you got a dope track with him called Black Spanish, and there's a video for that. Can you talk to us about Black Spanish and the video for it?
All right. Well, Black Spanish was basically it was just representing people that's Black Spanish, people that's it was just people that are Afro Latino, that could fit in either box or don't fit in either box. You know what I'm saying? You know, people that struggle with both identities. You know what I'm saying? That you know, some people say, oh well, you're Spanish. Oh no, you look black, or oh you're black. Oh no, I thought you were Spanish, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they grow up with that. And I grew up in a time where it wasn't too many mixed people, especially in the area where I grew up in, where like well you know the DMV area.
I
You know what
do.
I'm saying? It's kind of like Philly. It's just like Philly or Baltimore or DC, Baltimore, which is the DMV, or Philly or places like that where it's like Chocolate City. It's like you think that everybody's black, you know what I'm saying, if you come from these areas. So it's like it's not too many mixed people there, so you kind of stick out like a sore thumb a little bit, and it's a little bit hard to fit in sometimes. And you know, I made that song for people like that, you know what I'm saying. And it was just a theme song, you know what I'm saying. It's called Black Spanish. And I want to put the lyrical wordplay in there, you know what I'm saying. And somebody said Camden, word up. I was born in Jersey near Camden. I was born in Mount Holly, New Jersey, near Trenton. So yeah, shout out to Destuno. Yeah, so Hanzo Bladez made the beat, and I just laced it, and Mr. Scratch Hook did the scratches on there, and he mixed down the beat. And it's funny because when I had the actual song and I had pre-recorded it, I recorded it in a program called Mixcraft, which is like a Fisher Price, my first Pro Tools. Like it's a really rudimentary program, and that's all I had at the time. And the
What's the
audio didn't
program
come out.
called?
It's called Mixcraft, like witchcraft, but Mixcraft, MIX craft. And you know, I it was the only program that I had at the time, and the audio didn't come out all that great. But what Mr. Scratch Hook, aka E-Rex, did, he basically mixed it down so that it sounded like it was in a professional studio. And he added the scratches to it. Yeah, man, it sounded so great, man. It just came out to be great. So when we did the video, I actually I hired somebody to film me at various locations. One was in uptown Northwest DC, off of Georgia Avenue. Another one was in Arlington, Virginia, which was right around the corner, and I don't know some other places. We just went all over the city, man. We just went all over the area and filmed. I think it was at least like three locations, and we just wanted to get the urban feel. You know what I'm saying? The look of the city in it. You know what I mean? And get everybody in it. We started off, and we had started at a Spanish restaurant where I'm speaking Spanish to the people, and you know what I'm saying, I'm just basically illustrating what it's like to be bilingual and to speak a little bit of Spanish. You know what I'm saying? My Spanish is pretty ugly. You know what I'm saying? Some people call it repiao.
You flowing in Spanish. You got it.
Little something. You know what I'm saying? It could always be better. You know what I'm saying? Estoy mejorando cada día. I'm getting better every day. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, DC looks so good on camera too. As soon as I saw, I was like, I think it was like Quincy and 14th and everything. I was like, oh, I recognize that.
Yeah. We was on 14th Street too. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I just wanted to give and that's why we filmed in that area. It's a very affluent. I mean, a very Hispanic, a very Hispanic area, or a mixed area with Caribbeans, Ethiopians, and Hispanics in Northwest. So, I went there to go ahead and do that, so we could capture the essence of the multi-ethnic flavors in the city. And there we have it, man. Black Spanish.
Yeah, that's good. I used to live over on Georgia Avenue in Columbia Heights. So
nice.
Yeah,
Columbia
so like,
Heights.
I knew like everywhere. Like I was like, this is dope. There's another video that stands out to me. Has another dope sample, some cool guest appearances called Que Bonita Bandera. Can you talk to us about that track in the video?
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I started off doing a song by myself, and I I got guys to add on and do verses. I got my guy Ab Phantasma to do his verse. He ripped it. And then I got my guy Kalishnikov Red to do his verse. And it was just really it was a really good collaborative effort. Then next thing you know, Ab was like, "Yo, I got, you know, I'm working at the festival," and that was the thing. Like, it was like God had put it together, because it was like everything was planned, everything was meant to happen, because I was trying to find, you know, a place where we could film the video, and I found I looked up the next Spanish festival in DC, and I found that they was having one, the DC Fiesta, or the Fiesta DC, in 2023, in DC on Pennsylvania Avenue or whatever. And I was like, and Independence. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me do this. And when I had called, it just so happened that Ab Phantasma was doing security, and he was in charge of the talent contest at the actual Fiesta DC event.
That's
so
dope.
Then, yeah, so everything had lined up. And then Kalishnikov Red, his family, was in charge of the float for Ecuador. So you know, everything was there. So
you had all the players.
Yeah,
you had all the players.
Was lined up. Everything was lined up, man. So I went down there. I went down to the festival, and I took my lawn chair with me, and I posted up at the float for Ecuador, and we just did the damn thing, man. We started recording, and then the next weekend we went to a place in Wheaton, Maryland, called off Georgia Avenue, which is not too far from DC, as you know, called Sazon. I think it's called a Sazon Grill. I forgot, it's something like that. Sazon.
It's like a restaurant.
Bar and grill, huh?
It's like a restaurant.
Yeah. It was a restaurant. It was a Colombian restaurant, and we went there and we did the rest of our performance there, and for the video, and it was a wrap, man. Everything just came together, man. You know, Ab Phantasma already had connections there. That was like his family restaurant that he always goes to. So everything was just, you know, in place. You know what I mean? So it just worked out. It worked out.
That's dope. If you could talk to us, because Phantasma is an interesting person in hip hop in the DMV. You know, he's put together the La Conecta events, right?
Yeah.
But he's also at the same time very much into salsa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's like kind of like you, like a hip hop head that's a salsero. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about your relationship with him and how y'all built like as artists?
Man, that's a good guy, man.
He's put a lot of brothers on. He's put a lot of brothers on.
Yeah,
he's brought a lot of talent to the DMV.
He has, but that guy will make you feel like a king when you come in this town, man. You know, when you come in DC and you as an artist, you come from New York or you come from California or Colombia or whatever, and you come to rock in DC, he make you feel like a king, man. And I almost felt like that, the treatment that he gave me when we did the whole video, because he facilitated a lot of things for that video to happen. And if it wasn't for him, that song and that video would never happen. So God bless him and thank him for that. He's just an all around good guy, man. Like to do him wrong, you would get the karma of 10,000 bad luck. You know what I mean? Because you know he has no backbone in his body, man. He's not one you would want to cross, but he has no backbone in his body.
Don't forget, he's part of El Imperio. You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's connected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's dope.
But
man.
Yeah,
that's really, really dope. You know, we got a chance to talk about the new album, Triple Piragua. We talked about how it's the third installment. There's Piragua, Mas Piragua, Triple Piragua. It's available everywhere right now. And you also had a chance to talk to us about an upcoming project, Tostones, right? As we start the rap, is there any other things you want to make sure that you shout out, people you shout out?
Okay, well, I want, you know, we already talked about Tostones, but the next album that I drop, which is coming out in 2025, is called Mountain Dreams. It's between me and Seeing the Dream, Mike Mountain and Seeing the Dream, and it's called Mountain Dreams. It's totally produced by Seeing the Dream, and the lyrics are mostly me. It's a good album. I can tell you already it's going to be a good album, and I hope y'all enjoy it. I got something coming out with my man Tron Beats. I got an EP coming out with him. I got something coming out with Jamal Nueve, excuse me, from Newark Brick City. Excuse me. I got something coming out with a guy from San Diego named Kendall Carter. He's a producer. A lot of things, you know, lined up that's coming out in the next couple of years. I'm just trying to give everything elbow room and breathing space in between to let people hear it. You know, I'm not trying to just come out with album after album real quick, you know, and not give people a chance to catch up on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spread it out between the next 2 years, the releases. And then, you know, as far as people that I want to shout out, I want to give a shout out to everybody that was on the album. Psycho Les, Domingo, Mrs. Scratch Hook, aka E-Rex, Muñeca MC, Ida, Shabaam Sahdeeq, Thirstin Howl III, Godhead the General, Jigsaw Ben Ryman, H2 Owens, Ab Phantasma, Kalishnikov Red, wow, who else, man? So New Jericans, Joey Dynamite and Sal Zales, Soul Zales.
Muñeca MC.
Huh?
Muñeca MC.
Muñeca MC, yeah, I always gotta shout her out. Muñeca MC, so many people, man. If I didn't shout you out, man, just know I got you, man. I got you. I want to give a shout out to my boy Seeing the Dream. I want to give a shout out to my boy Yourself. He helped produce on the album as well. Hanzo Bladez. Everybody that just helped out with the album, you know what I'm saying? Tracklight Productions, Prince Poe, who was on the album, that's my big brother. He knows my mom too. Ooh. That's my family. You know, I saw you did an interview with him. That was an excellent interview. So
dope.
Oh yeah, MikeMountain.com. I want y'all to check out MikeMountain.com, triplepiragua.com. That's MIC mountain.com and triplepiragua.com. Check me out on Facebook. Check me out on Instagram. Check me out on Twitter. On The Real Mike Mountain on Instagram. The Real Mike Mountain on TikTok. I'm everywhere. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people that I could shout out, man. I don't want to offend anybody. My boy A. Rashid, my padrino Oba. I love you, bro. Much respect to you. Everybody, man, everybody out there, man, everybody. My mom, I love my mom. You know, she's my biggest supporter. Martha Mountain, Adam Churchwell, you know, everybody that's been a big support to me and helped me out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody.
That's beautiful, man. Thank you so much. I can't wait to run this back when the new albums come out in the future, my bro. I had a really great time listening to your discography, especially the Piragua installments and Triple Piragua. Really, really solid projects, my bro. You're doing big things. I can't wait to run it back in the future, my brother. Thank you so much for being on the Cristopolis show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, my much, bro. Salute.
Salute.